So let's move on to the second part of this problem. Here the value of a is -2, d value is given to you as 0. So now the first term, as usual, they are asking us to find the 4 terms of the AP. So the arithmetic progression, the general form of the arithmetic progression is given by a plus d, a plus 2d and a plus 3d. These 4 terms will help us to find the value of the first 4 terms of the arithmetic progression, whose first term is -2 and d value is 0. So all we need to do now is just substitute the values of a and d to find the first 4 terms. So a1 is given by a, which is -2. Now the second term can be calculated by substituting a and d values. So which is your a value? -2 plus 0. So the second term is also going to be -2. Now let's proceed to find the third term. The third term is given by a plus 2d. So now -2 plus 2 into the value of d is 0. So -2 plus anything multiplied by 0 is going to be 0. So the third term is also going to be -2. Now let's proceed to find the fourth term. The fourth term is given by a plus 3d. So this is -2 plus 3 of -0. So -2 plus 0, which is going to give you -2. So now let's write the conclusion. So what is the conclusion? The 4 terms of the AP whose first term is -2 and d is 0 is given by -2, -2, -2, -2. Now how do we check whether the sequence that we have obtained is correct or wrong? As usual, all you need to do is find the common difference between the 4 terms, that is the succeeding term minus the previous term. So just for your reference here, suppose I need to check whether the value I have found is true, the sequence I have got is the correct or wrong. All I need to do here is I can find d2 by writing a2 minus a1. So which is my a2 here? It is -2. -2 minus of -2. So this is -2 plus 2, which is going to give me 0. d3 is given by, you can find a4 minus a3. So now what is your a4? It is -2 minus of -2. So -2 plus 2, which is equal to 0. So here we can conclude that the 4 terms that we have found are definitely going to be in AP. And which are the 4 terms? -2, -2, -2 and -2. So dear students, let's do the third part of this problem. The problem reads, write the 4 terms of an AP when the first term A and the common difference D are given as below. Here A value is 4 and D value is -3. So as usual, we will start by writing the general form of an AP. So as you all are familiar, the general form of an AP is given by A plus D, A plus 2D and A plus 3D. So all we need to do now is to substitute the value of A and D to find the 4 terms of this arithmetic progression. So we will proceed by finding A1, the first term of this arithmetic progression, by A. So A value is 4. So how do we proceed for A2? A2 is found, the second term is given by A plus D. So A is 4 plus of minus 3. So you all are familiar, plus into minus is going to give us a minus. So 4 minus 3, which is going to give you 1. Now let's find out the third term. A3 is given by A plus 2D. So just substitute the value 4 plus 2 into minus 3. So 4 minus 6, which is going to give you minus 2. So the last term of this sequence is A4, which is A plus 3D. So here again 4 plus 3 into minus 3. So this is given by 4 minus 9, which is going to give me minus 5. So now we can conclude by saying that the terms of the AP are 4, 1, minus 2 and minus 5. Dear students, now let's proceed to the fourth part of this particular problem. They are still asking us to find the 4 terms of an AP when the first term and the common difference is given to us. Here in this particular problem, the first term is A, which is equal to minus 1, and D is equal to 1 by 2. So by now I think you are familiar with the general form of the arithmetic progression. The general form of an arithmetic progression is given by A plus D, A plus 2D and A plus 3D. It's a very simple problem here again. We just need to substitute the values of A and D to find the 4 terms of the arithmetic progression. So the first term, if I would call it as A1, is given by A itself, so which is equal to minus 1. The second term is given by A2, which is nothing but A plus D. So just let's substitute the values, minus 1 plus half. So here we need to take the LCM. So when we take the LCM, so it is minus 2 plus 1 divided by 2, so minus half. So now let's move to find out A3. A3 is given by A plus 2D. So this is minus 1 plus 2 into half. So here your numerator and denominator 2 gets cancelled. You will be left with minus 1 plus 1, which is equal to 0. Now let's find out the last term, A4, which is given by A plus 3D, which is nothing but minus 1 plus 3 into half. So which is minus 1 plus 3 by 2. If we take the LCM here again, it is minus 2 plus 3 divided by 2, which is going to give you 1 by 2. So clearly the 4 terms of the arithmetic progression are given by, if I write it here, it is minus 1, minus half, 0 and 1 by 2. So dear students, let's move to the last part of this particular problem, where he is still asking us to find the 4 terms of the arithmetic progression. In this particular problem, the A value is given to you as minus 1.25 and D is minus 0.25. So let's proceed by writing the general form of an arithmetic progression. The general form is given by A plus D, A plus 2D and A plus 3D. So what we need to do? We just need to substitute the values of A and D to find the 4 terms of the arithmetic progression. So let's substitute to find the first term of the arithmetic progression. If I would call it as the first term A1, which is given by A, which is minus 1.25. So the next term is got by substituting the values of both A and D. So it is minus 1.25 plus of minus 0.25. So if you are familiar, plus into minus is going to give you a minus. So minus 1.25 minus 0.25. Since they are both like terms, we will add and put the minus symbol. So here we get 1.50. Now let's proceed to find the third term. How do we get the third term? The third term is given by A plus 2D. So this is minus 1.25 plus 2 into minus 0.25. So here it is minus 1.25 plus into minus is going to give you a minus. 2 into 0.25 will give me 0.50. So when I add, I will get minus 1.75. The last term is got by A4, which is A plus 3D. So as usual, let us substitute the values of both A and D. So 3 into minus 0.25, which is given by minus 1.25 plus into minus is minus, 3 into 0.25 is minus 0.75. So when I add, I get it as minus 2.00. So now let us write the concluding step. So the terms of the AP are minus 1.25, minus 1.5, minus 1.75 and minus 2. So dear students, I think by now you would have understood how to get the arithmetic sequence when the first term and the common difference is given to you. All you need to do is just substitute in the general formula to get that particular sequence. Make a note of this so we can proceed to the next sum. So dear students, now we proceed to the next kind of problems in arithmetic progression. Look at the problem here. For the following APs, write the first term and the common difference. Now what was the difference between the previous sum and this sum? In the previous problems, the value of A and D was given to you and you were supposed to generate the arithmetic progression. But here they have given you the arithmetic progression and you are supposed to find out the values of A and D. See, generally, since the question already says that the following APs, had they not given you this sentence, the clause of following APs. So first step all you need to do is to check whether the particular sequence is an AP. Like I had explained earlier, how do you check whether a particular sequence is an AP or not? The common difference throughout the sequence has to remain constant. And once it is constant, you definitely know that particular problem is in AP. Here, you need not worry about checking the common difference because the question itself says that the following sequence are in AP. So, all you need to do is just find the value of A and common difference. So, look at the first problem here. The problem reads 3, 1, minus 1, minus 3. So, I think by now you would be familiar on how to find the first term and the common difference. So, always the first term of the sequence is A, which is nothing but your first term, and for this particular sequence A value is 3. So, now let us proceed to find the common difference. So, how do you find the common difference? The common difference can be found by subtracting the succeeding term with the previous term. Here you can take any two terms, two terms to find the common difference. So, let us start by taking minus 1 of minus 1. That is, I have taken, suppose I use this term as A, A1, A2, A3 and A4. So, now let us start by finding A3 minus A2. So, what was the value in A3? It was minus 1. What is the value of A2? It is minus 1. So, it is the succeeding term minus the previous term. So, here I got minus 2. So, clearly you can conclude that A is equal to 3 and D is equal to minus 2. So, now let us proceed to the second part of this problem. The second part of the problem reads minus 5, minus 1, 3 and 7. So, now the first term, which is nothing but A, is very clearly minus 5. Now, let us proceed to find the common difference. So, as usual, we will write this as A1, A2, A3, A4. So, dear children, if you can remember, A1, A2, A3, A4 represents the terms of this arithmetic progression. So, how do you get the common difference? By subtracting the succeeding term with its previous term. So, to find the common difference, which is D, you can use A4 minus A3. So, this is 7 minus 3, which is equal to 4. So, clearly for this particular problem, A value is minus 5, D value is 4. Make a note of this, students. Let us proceed to the next problem. So, let us proceed with the problem. Here we are supposed to calculate the first term and the common difference. Now, let us move to the third part of this problem, where the sequence is given to you as 1 by 3, 5 by 3, 9 by 3, 13 by 3. So, clearly the first term, as usual, which is represented by A, is given by 1 by 3. So, we can call this as A1, A2, A3 and A4. So, now we proceed to find the common difference. Like I have always been telling you, the common difference can be found by subtracting the succeeding term with its previous term. So, in this case, let us subtract A3 minus A2. So, what is A3? The value of A3 is 9 by 3 minus 5 by 3. So, this is nothing but 4 by 3. So, clearly A value is equal to 1 by 3 and D value is given by 4 by 3. So, now let us move to this fourth part of this problem. The terms given here are 0.6, 1.7, 2.8, 3.9. So as usual, the first term is very clearly A, which is 0.6. So if you want, you can start continuing by writing the terms of the sequence as A1, A2, A3 and A4. So next, to find the common difference, D, we can start with subtracting A3 minus A2. You can randomly choose any two succeeding terms to calculate the value of D. So here A3 is 2.8, A1 is 1.7. So when I subtract, I get 1.1. So here A value is 0.6, D value is 1.1. So make a note of this, students. We will proceed to the next problem.